best to go through. Triple time to understand it.
Sekgabo Seselamarumo.
Radio Positive is brought to you by Sentebale. Hashtag let youth lead.
Alright, it's 12:18. Duma Fm, more talk, more music. The Youth Cafe, ke ko leng teng re tsana ka gangwe mo Sentebale. Shapuzi.
Hi.
How was your week?
It was okay. The weather was confusing though. Mehala rahan. Okay.
Ke feel gore re ne la re le confused ya la rona re le basha.
No, I think COVID-19 can affect that thing. You'll never know what to expect.
Are ke rileng ka re tla boka COVID ka ta. E ka ifue le gonna go fue.
Fuelera, hey.
Re horogile.
Se se go lo ke go goroga. Otherwise a le re tshwaretseng gompieno mo Radio Positive tla ke le fe sebaka.
Okay, so this week from the 6th to the 10th of July, it was the International AIDS Conference, the 23rd International AIDS Conference, and today we're just going to be reflecting on the conference and what happened, what we learned, and what to look forward to and all that. And this conference is held every 2 years. So the last one was 2018. And this year the conference was initially supposed to be held in San Francisco and Oakland, but because of it's COVID-19, life happened and they had to now shift and move towards an online or a virtual conference. And this allowed a lot of people or a lot of delegates to actually be a part of this conference without having to limit the number of people. But because of online stuff, we do know the internet issues and stuff. So some people couldn't weren't able to be a part of the conference because of those lack of connections and having devices to actually access the whole thing, because you need data, Wi-Fi and all that.
Yeah.
But otherwise people did be a part of it. And actually the AIDS conference, those scholarship recipients actually got assistance in terms of they made sure people have phones to access so that data to be able to access the virtual conference. And it was such an amazing conference, but we'll talk more on that as time goes.
Yeah, but the scholarship is from the AIDS conference. So, but us, Sentebale attend and some other organizations, maybe to mention a few, Bonela, Botswana Network on Laws and Ethics, but we learned a lot, throughout. Who may be confused on what AIDS conference is. This is like the Coachella of the HIV AIDS industry. It's that huge to us. It's one of the biggest things into the HIV and AIDS industry. We meet in one place, discuss these kind of issues and way forward. So being there, you have to feel special. Can you tell us maybe just a bit about the conference of
Okay, so the conference, there are different topics. We do know HIV, there's always this continuous research, and there are also different issues. Then now we do talk about here more radio positive, like your stigma, discrimination, and treatment wise, and these are the sort of issues that have been talked about during the conference from different countries, and how they present about how the stigma is in, maybe let's say in Croatia or in South Africa, how the young people are facing the stigma, and how they manage to go about helping those young people, and treatment wise research, how far with research with finding the cure, or the medication, how advanced are we now in terms of debilitating or available, or even right now we're talking about having injections instead of having to take DPVC every day. So those were the types of things that were covered during the conference. And this year's the AIDS 2020 was themed resilience, and this so each conference, there are different topics. This year it was resilience, and our patron of Sentebale, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, he shared a short message in the form of a video during the conference on resilience.
Yeah, and then on the video he said, when we come together, work together, and we uplift one another, no one gets left behind. After that, he introduced two Let Youth Lead advocates, from Botswana and Lesotho, to share what resilience means to them and how they have continued to push, through it as a young person living with HIV. So, Kaba, you are one of them, and I'm going to quote your words.
Yeah, well,
You said, I am a Sentebale Let Youth Lead advocate who has been living with HIV for a little over 16 years. To me, resilience is having, intentional victories against HIV despite all other life problems. It means that you too should accept your HIV status and have good adherence to ARVs. It also means putting young people at the forefront of decision making on HIV issues that affect them. Resilience means that you are going to live beyond HIV and not being limited by a virus. I am a resilience. Wow, Sekgabo. Wow.
hey, okay, okay, since you're quoting me now, I'm gonna put you on the spotlight.
Yeah.
What does resilience mean to you?
Resilience. Resilience has I have a lot of words to describe resilience, but to say some which were not yet mentioned. Nkara coping, with difficulties that you're living under, trying to forget what's behind you and moving forward. Coping with difficulties in your life, and getting up on your feet. I can rata botshelo ke leotwana. So now when you're at the bottom, this is where now you have to be resilient and push yourself up to the front. Yeah.
Okay, and we're facing so many problems right now. We have COVID-19, petrol situations. It's just a lot, and I just want our listeners sort of, what does resilience mean to them? They can call us on 35000131. 35000131. But we resilience or during these tough times, these confusing times. Yeah.
So as mentioned, the conference means scientists, researchers, community health workers, young people, governments, development agencies from all over, all in one room to share like the latest information about HIV and AIDS. I get so maybe some of the few topics na tsene ding khathile tota ke ka mme wa ko Y plus she has like a similar story to us. She shared about her uplifting, how she grew up, how she faced challenges. But she started with the challenges first. Talking about life at school. Being up and down, hospital, school life. And how she ended up understanding everything and then becoming a champion that she calls herself. And she's a whole lot more. That I can talk about. Talking about being a positive person, an advocate, a feminist as well as a champion for change.
And with me, another one topic that I really enjoyed during this conference was aging and HIV. You find that a lot of young people or adolescents, they're born with HIV, and now we're trying there's researchers we're trying to see, or trying to share more or articulate how these young people are actually growing up as compared to someone who's negative, in terms of HIV positive, and right now, how are they coping with living with HIV? And she shared some of the challenges they know they do face, growing up and growing old, because now as we know, HIV, we cannot cure it, so we're going to grow old with HIV. So then how do they cope with that? And and she mentioned the fact that these young people, they face a lot of problems, both environmentally and socially, and environmental challenges, they include, stigma and discrimination. And as much as we do talk about it, mihala is always there. And sometimes poor healthcare utilization is there, and social isolation, because now you feel that, out there, and as a result you end up isolating yourself as a young person living with HIV. And also there's also poor social capital or family support, because you are living with HIV. In some um countries, you find that that they are families or they don't support their kids living with HIV, and that results in people and then it's like back to square one in terms of fighting HIV. And she also mentioned a very important point ya gore, discriminatory like discrimination in healthcare policies, like in terms of financing. Like there are some countries where rona mo Botswana are very fortunate gore ARVs are given for free, okay, you just register and take your meds. But in some countries they literally have to buy the pills itself. So we can see what our government is doing the most for us, and we need to be appreciative on that. And also she talked about limited access to specific healthcare services and financial assistance to people by not living with HIV, like with students. They can't they can't be given like scholarships to study in other countries. So that is the type of discrimination that's there, that young people are facing in terms of growing old with HIV. And it was very interesting to hear someone from a different country share some of the challenges that I could say that I relate to as a young person living openly with HIV.
This week ke ne ke tsa molaetsa from one of my friends, and you guys are always talking. Gona na mo go trendang ke COVID-19. Why let's not switch it to that. Be ke molela gore, until we get 0 new infections of HIV, that's when we're gonna stop talking about this. Gona na people living with HIV already, they're confused whether they're at high risk of COVID-19 or not. So we are here, to show you guys what's happening, to give you light. And even at the AIDS conference, they customized it for in COVID-19 and HIV.
And
Yes.
I like what Sir Elton John said. Really, right now, because we are facing COVID-19, it's easier for you to get an HIV test than a COVID-19 test.
Yeah.
And now people are actually fearing COVID-19 instead of HIV. So you can see how the world is changing.
Yeah.
With the problems that we're facing every day right now.
But it doesn't mean that HIV is no longer harmful. We still need to care. We still need to follow, the HIV advices so that we stay free, from new cases and stuff. Right now, the time is 12:30. Let's take a break and then let's pay the bills instead.
Interesting conversation. Worry less. Find us on SoundCloud at Duma Fm Radio. At Duma Fm Radio.
Jokweng re ne sa pula ya matsorotoro a mamphemphe kgotsa chopes dumelang botakatu kgwedi eno ya phokwe e le bofara bobedi mogagamola chopes superstore.
What do they take from this conference, and how what messages do they want to share with Batswana gore when ba itutileng in terms of rona re le Batswana with fighting HIV, or the problems that we're facing with HIV? How can we best move forward with the challenges that HIV and AIDS, and also COVID-19? So we're going to talk to Neo, who's going to share with us more about that. And it's her full name's Neo Manuela, and she's a lecturer at Institute of Health Science, IHS, and she's also the acting executive secretary of Botswana HIV Clinician Society, and the president of the Volunteers Network of Global Change, and a board member of the Botswana Network of AIDS Services organization, Bonasu. So she's just gonna share more on her insights or reflections about the 23rd AIDS conference. Hi, Noah.
Hello, thank you so much for
Emma, thank you for agreeing to join us and share your your insights about the just ended 23rd AIDS conference. And first let's just jump right into it. And what were your experiences from the just ended AIDS conference? The past and the present. If you did attend other conferences.
From this conference also I learned that research is a way to find answers to solving problems in terms of the dynamics of HIV/AIDS. And at the current crisis that we have during this COVID-19 program crisis, I realized one thing: resilience. Because when now resilience became a thing that maybe what you can say, maybe a dream came true for the scene. So the resilience thing was for 2020, but it was supposed to be in San Francisco, Oakland, and the coronavirus happened in March, and then everything changed. The landscape changed too.
Okay, so personally, why is the conference an important convening for you?
I get to share with other colleagues the opportunities that are there, and also to encourage some of us to, venture into those research areas, those which maybe may be lacking in terms of knowledge and how to roll out the strategies of prevention and, tertiary management of these diseases. So it is very important for persons to engage.
Emma, we mentioned earlier how there were so many sessions, there were those that were like on demand, and other exhibitions. When from this virtual conference, what were some of those that were very that they interested you most, and share a lot from those sessions.
A professor, so it means we can publish as many articles as we can.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's really important for engage banana at a young age, from Form 5 level research, so that when they go to university they actually do have that interest of research and HIV research, and other types of research also.
One of the sessions in the AIDS conference, it was conducted by Edwin Bernard, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, HIV Justice Network. And how advocacy, we can working in times like these, getting them to be on the forefront, talking about some of the issues. They should start a conversation now, maybe they want to, talk about this with.
If we start at secondary school, we need to teach young people to research. Research is not a complex subject. So finding out what the problem is, what could be the cause, all that process is called research. So if they can start with small projects at their level, say, for example, we have young people who are engaged in substance abuse, we can engage their own peers to do research on themselves.
Yes.
And get more information, and then scale it up to more scientists to now find out at a level, at a higher level, what we find out now, and also now get to publications and support.
Thank you so much, May Neo Monella. She's a lecturer at IHS and also the acting executive secretary at Botswana HIV Clinicians Society. But we're going to go just for a quick break. Okay, there's we have a caller, Duma. Dumela. Right there. Thank you so much for your insightful input. More talking about the AIDS conference and about resilience, in terms of HIV and COVID-19. For your input.